friends. I wanted to check in with you about the lunar cycle that is going from February 17th to March 17th. It's coming up, and we've got quite a lot to cover about this moment that we are in. I know that it will come as no surprise that there's a lot going on astrologically, and we have a story, a lunar tale I wanted to share that will hopefully offer your imaginal superpower to engage in a way that is meaningful and possibly can harness some of the energies of this moment in a way that can guide you toward a more flourishing world. So, which is what we're always doing in Dream Fruit, as many of you already know. So, first and foremost, yes, we are absolutely at a moment when new life is breaking through. There's a whole lot of energy kind of shifting into Aries. I'm not going to do a lot of the actual specific astrology of it. I'll probably mention a few things, of course, but just know that Aries is the first sign of the zodiac, and it's this moment of brand new life bursting into the world. And so the theme in the Dream Fruit world for this lunar cycle is becoming. So there's an emerging life form, there's an emerging force of energy. And it is a great time to tune in, see what you see. What are you noticing in your own life that is perhaps activating? And what are you seeing when you look just a little bit to the side, just a little bit between the lines, when you look at the world itself, you might be seeing that there are new possibilities presenting themselves. So, yes, we are entering an eclipse season. Again, this is February 17th to March 17th, with a full moon on March 3rd. And the new moon, just to be thorough here, the new moon is on February 17th, and it's in the sign of Aquarius. It's at the very end of Aquarius, 28 to 29 degrees of Aquarius. And the Sabian symbol that we are going to be playing with today is a butterfly emerging from a chrysalis. And I will share with you a few things about this. One is we want to think about change. Yes, it is an eclipse season, and so this energy of emerging from a chrysalis might feel especially intensified. Eclipses do that. They have that magic of making everything just a little bit brighter, just a little bit louder. So, what is emerging and what has been kind of folded up, what has been contained that is now starting to break through? We can just ask ourselves that question. And then we want to think about change itself. What is your feeling toward it? If something new is coming, is it easy to embrace that change? Does it feel frightening? We kind of want to see how we relate to this new form coming through. I mean, the butterfly used to be a caterpillar, and there's a whole lot of unknown as this new form comes through. And a butterfly emerging from the chrysalis, you know, it takes a minute for the wings to kind of break through the all of the casing, and then for the wings to dry, and then slowly, slowly to understand how they work, and then to take flight. All of that may or may not take place in this lunar cycle. We are certainly in an emerging moment, though. And with the Aries energy that I am mentioning now, this new life force, it's also about the self, how you think about the individual, yourself as unique. And so this emergence can really be an opportunity to become more aware of who you really are, what we all really are. And of course, I would argue here in the world of Dream Fruit that what we really are is deeply woven into the fabric of life. We are really earthlings. We might think of ourselves as whatever trappings of society we carry or present with. But really, the invitation at this time is to move past that, to open up a new sense of self. Who you are is Earth in a human body, a human creature living within and of nature. Earth, fire, water, and air have conspired to create your life, your body, this moment, in this place. And the more connected we become to that identity, the more engaged we become with all life because we understand ourselves as kin. We understand that our fates are linked. We understand that Earth herself is mother, is of us, is the source of life. And I see all of this as being possible with this Aries energy. Specifically, there's a very big thing happening in this cycle, and that is that Saturn, the planet Saturn, and the planet Neptune will be conjunct at the 0 point of Aries on February 20th. And this is, again, a moment that really highlights that emergence. That 0 point is the very beginning of the zodiac. So when you cast a circle, you start somewhere, and when you close it, when you complete that circle, you're right at your beginning point again. And that's where we find ourselves with Saturn and Neptune in this moment of conjunction where they are together. And Neptune really has been busy sort of dissolving our sense of heroism and I alone can fix it. Neptune just stepped into Aries in earnest just last month. And then Saturn follows, bringing in the building, we want to create something lasting. We want to understand the discipline that it takes to express in the world. And so when you think about these two together, you can imagine old forms dissolving while a new form emerges. And it's certainly with the Sabian symbol for this new moon, which is the butterfly emerging from the chrysalis, but also the Sabian symbol for the first degree of Aries, where Saturn and Neptune will be conjunct on February 20th, which is a woman emerging from the sea and a seal embracing her. So again, we see this similar flow of life, like from one shape into another, even between species, even between the form of a caterpillar into a pupal stage and into this winged creature, a woman emerging from this unified sense of wholeness that the ocean can conjure, distinguishing herself, but with a part of that wildness still embracing her. So multiple forms, but one life. So we get to play with that quite a lot at this time. And this is a really big reset. You will be hearing about it and already have been, I'm sure, from all corners of the internet because it's a lot. There's a lot to explore and discover here in this time. But I just really want to invite you to consider, what is emerging for you? What do you see emerging? How do you feel about that? What helps you feel more honest and true to who you are? And has it changed in recent months? Are you starting to feel a little more clarity about who and how you want to be in the world, who and how you truly are in the world, and how can you embrace that? Another point of interest about this month, February 20th, again, this conjunction moment, also our beautiful planet Venus is returning from the underworld and will be visible again in the evening sky. Another emergence. Venus has her cycle of going through the underworld where we don't see her at all. She's traveling very close to the sun. And so, as a star and as the beautiful goddess archetype of Venus, we are without her for a portion of time. And then, she appears again in the evening sky. And so, this another emerging energy. So, we want to think about rites of passage, what it is to become something new. And any rite of passage is going to have a very basic Structure of separation, when you say, I can't stay with this the way it is. Initiation, when maybe you're just challenged and you don't even know what's happening, but suddenly there are all these new things that you have to find a way to be with or adapt to or respond to. And then the return. And the return, it's deceptive. We don't want to consider that we're just beginning again. We return changed. Who returns? The separation might have been when the caterpillar started weaving a cocoon. And the initiation might have been when the caterpillar melted down into butterfly soup, the imaginal cells inside the chrysalis. And the return might be this winged creature coming back to the same milkweed, to the same plant, to the same ecosystem, but completely transformed. So the moment we're in is really looking at what is initiation? What is it for us to be taking a collective initiation? And what is happening for you on the personal level that has completely transformed? Maybe you were kicking and screaming. Maybe you were just resting into it, leaning into it. Maybe you were eagerly embracing it. But now the evidence, the indicators are beginning to peek through a little bit. You can start seeing, oh, this is what I've been brewing during this time. This is what I've been becoming. And just another note about this time, and then we're going to tell the lunar tale for this cycle, because there's a lot of really intense energy, like very fresh, and it's Aquarian, and so there can be a lot of idealism, and we want to be cautious. We want to temper overly idealistic thinking because what's true is those wings need time to dry. They need time to kind of find themselves a little bit. So we don't want to be rushing headlong unless there's a strong sense of readiness. And also to not dwell on the past. We can't go back. Caterpillar is over and done. There's only one direction here, and Aries knows it. The direction is forward. Those are just a few thoughts about what's on offer at this time. I want to look at the story inside the world of Dream Fruit. And of course, you may already know if you've been following along that we're working inside the world of Dream Fruit. This is the Lunar Tales for Earthlings collection for 2026. And so the lunar tale, kind of like a fairy tale, but it's based on the moon. And the cycle that, again, that we're dealing with is February 17th to March 17th. And this is really offered as a way to activate your keen powers of imagination, to sort of feed your image bank a little bit so that as you go through the days and weeks of this month, you have some images and symbols, stories that can kind of percolate throughout this time, throughout the lunar phases, as the moon grows to full and wanes again, especially during an eclipse. It's really nice to not just deal with the themes with your frontal lobe, but also to deal with them with your imaginal space. So that is the spirit in which the lunar tales are offered. And having said that, I'm going to invite you to kind of gently start shifting your attention, shifting your awareness. I've been kind of just talking to you directly, and now we're going to enter through a side door and hear what the moon has to say about this time. In the dream of the becoming moon, there are rumors of a twice born, a changeling slowly taking form, an egg, stages of becoming. It's not an egg, the oracle gave us, but a bundle, tea leaves that now split open like a cocoon. The world's fever dreams persist around us, systems cracking like dried earth, but we no longer flinch at the sound. Something is crystallizing in our chests. patterns are coming into focus like wings of stained glass. What was once a chrysalis becomes a flight path. And so we stretch our gossamer wings and we feel a new hope unfurling within us. This is hope, brilliant and inevitable as sunrise. And does the cocoon give way as life pushes through? Yes, it cannot be contained. Remember, you can fly. And does the cocoon give way as life pushes through? Yes, it cannot be contained. Remember, you can fly. So with story and symbol and image, what images or moments stand out for you? Where do you find yourself in this basket of story and image? So where we were last month was we were with the oracle, a woman reading tea leaves, and we were seeing in the steam as it rose from the tea, we were seeing how the swirls of our kind of day to day, the spirals of life are echoing these larger cycles in the galaxy, in the universe, these patterns within patterns. And so we were visiting this woman reading tea leaves in the story, and we were reminded to believe the women. And this harkens back to the story of Cassandra. It's very easy to disregard the stories or messages we get if it's from a source that we have been taught to not trust or to dismiss. So the voices of women become especially important at this time. And that has led us, so as we left our visit to the oracle, we were given a bundle. And the assumption was that perhaps that bundle was an egg to carry, some new life to carry and to see what might be hatching. But actually, no, it was a cocoon, a bundle wrapped tightly in tea leaves. And so now this new thing is coming through. And so we've been kind of hearing rumors in this dream of a twice born, of a changeling, of new forms in life. And now we can start seeing it come through. And we stretch those wings a little bit and we begin to see what is possible. So, yeah, does the cocoon give way? Yes, it cannot be contained. Remember that you can fly. So, perhaps the fog or the steam or that sort of dimly lit place that we've been in with the oracle was actually a conjuring mist for these new wings. Sometimes it's better that we are on a need to know basis with the universe. If we think we know what's coming, we might get a little hasty and accidentally derail the process of becoming. So here we are with new unfolding wings. And so, yeah, it's a good time to just ask these questions. How are you with change? How do you feel change arising in you? What new life force? Like, this is a really great month to really tune in to where is the energy and to follow that energy. Like, being honest about that, like, not assuming that it's always going to be one direction, not going along with the default or with your own habits, but instead to listen a little more closely to what's peeking through and to follow that energy and to trust that new shape. And the question that we're asking this month, the journal prompt is, what strange angels do you see on the horizon within and around you? As always, I'm very interested to know how these images, how this story, how the lunar tales in general resonate with you, how they're showing up for you. Do you see them in the headlines? Do you hear somebody saying? Are there synchronicities? Do you sense in your own journey? Drop a comment. I'm always interested in that. And mostly, I'm just wishing us all well as we embark on a very, very new chapter, a brand new chapter here in our lives here on Earth, a brand new chapter in your personal life, a very big change happening at the collective scale. And I'm wishing you very well with this time. Remember, your wings aren't dry yet. Take your time. Don't rush too fast if you're not feeling strong just yet. Trust the process. And also, if you're feeling some fear around changing, just please do bear in mind we can't go back. Dwelling on the past is not actually going to help. So the caterpillar phase is behind us. And now we move forward. And yeah, into the unknown, but slow and steady is a perfectly reasonable way to do this if that's a better way for you. Thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I look forward to being in touch and hearing what your adventure is like. And we will be planning to see you again on March 18th for the next lunar tale. Take care.